So moving on to the black backgrounds, same colours in the same place though I thought. Again, the mould is spotless, which means we've got no bubbles. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay. A little while ago, a lady called Diana contacted me from Dianka. Now, I'd never heard of Dianka, so I did have to research her channel, and oh my goodness, why haven't I heard of this lady before? She is an amazing artist. I said I would love to try some of her mica powders because it's fantastic that we support each other's businesses. So yes, she sent me over some Dianka colours to try, and I can't wait to try them. So let's see what they come out like. So these are the colours that I received from Diana, and go check out her channel. I will put her channel's link in the description box below, together with a nice discount code that she's kindly given me to give to you guys. She has a massive array of colours and asked me to pick a few from her website. I did ask for a really bright red, which unfortunately was out of stock at the time, but she sent me a different red instead. She also sent me 2 ghost pigments, which I wasn't expecting, and I really appreciate ghost pigments. I do love how they work. Now this is the mould that I'm using. It's a Christmas gift giving gnome. I did check to see if I had the link for this mould and I couldn't find it sadly, but I also searched for gnome moulds and there are so many different ones available, Christmas ones as well, all sorts. I'm going to start by using the Jessica Rabbit. Now all her pigments do have a safety cap. Some are a plastic one and some are metal. So I had to take that off of the jar first. That is great for things that are coming through the post. And by the way, these colours are available in the UK, shipped from America, but you can buy them from America to be shipped to the UK. And I believe they go right the way around the world too. Now, in case you haven't realised, I'm doing the method that I do a lot, and that is to colour the moulds with mica before I pour resin into them. I'm putting the Jessica Rabbit red in this little gnome's nose. I figured it was cold, he would have a red nose. And I'm going to be using all of the colours that I received from Diana in this same mould so that we can see what they come out like. As usual, once I've put colour in, then I give the mould a good clean. Now you really only need to clean the part that you're going to put the colour in next. But because I'm filming, I like the mould to look clean. So I tend to do the entire mould every time. But you really don't need to do that. I use a baby wipe, I use a cotton bud with isopropyl alcohol to make sure every little nook and cranny is colour free. Other than the pieces that obviously I want to stay the right colour. I hope that's understandable. Now, as I look at the design of this mould, there is a tiny bit of writing in part of the ribbon that's on the present he's holding. So I want to put a little tiny bit of colour just in the writing. Now, I did struggle with this because the writing is really, really shallow. But I kept going until I got what I wanted. I'm mixing the blue hypnotic mica with a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol so that it falls into the design. Now, as I said, it's really, really shallow. So it did take me a few attempts, but I did get there in the end. And I got that writing highlighted because when the piece turns out, I really would like that to be in a different colour. As it would be on designs that you're seeing and buying. It was a little tricky, like I said though, because it didn't lay flat. The writing wasn't flat either, so that was part of the reason why. After a few attempts, I decided to kind of flatten out the mould with my finger from the back to give it a flat surface because it was kind of rounded, which meant the colour sank to the middle. That worked a bit better. So I'm going to move on now to his hair and his moustache. And I'm going to use the really nice cream colour. I don't have a lot of creams in my selection of micas that I use every day, and it's not a colour I use very often, but it's really nice to have. So I'm going to colour in the hair and the moustache in this gorgeous colour. It's called Vanilla Bean, and it was one I chose because I don't have that many in my collection. In fact, I don't think I have any this colour. So it is really nice to have that in my collection and know that I can go to it when I need it. It's a really beautiful creamy white, absolutely gorgeous. It's funny how we tend to stick with the colours that we use most often. I have got a drawer full of different reds, absolutely tons of reds, because I was trying to find the perfect red. But when it comes to cream, I didn't have any. Isn't that bizarre? Anyway, I've never made this mould before. I've never turned it out. I don't exactly know where anything is on it, and so I was trying to figure that out while I was making it. I've got to figure out what part's the hat and what part's not the hair. So I thought I'd share with you my thoughts on the day. That's all ruffled, so that's the hair. It's very difficult when you don't know what you're making. In hindsight, and looking at the video now I've recorded, I can see it much better. So that's his mouth. His hand. Oh, that's his jumper. Oh, that's not hair. That was a little light bulb moment. So, this is his jumper, not his hair. So we haven't coloured the wrong bit. That's okay, we can uncolour it. It's an easy fixable problem. We need to clean it up anyway, so no big deal. And then I inadvertently cleaned the wrong bit. No! Don't want to... Right, we'll come back to that and we'll do that bit again. Still, you live and learn, don't you? That's what happens when you make a mistake. You can clean it up, it's fine. Okay, so cleaned it up. I'll do that again. But I just realised that that is his beard because it goes down here, which is there. But they are his sleeves. So that's not, but that is. Once I'd figured out exactly where the hair, the beard, the moustache and the sleeves were, then I could just crack on. So I coloured all the hair in the same colour. I also realised I'd coloured his cheeks in the same colour as his hair, so I did remove that colour to change it to red. And we'll jump back in to when that's done. So we're going to have some nice rosy red cheeks. And I think that'll go well with his nose too. So far, I think we're getting there. I think everything is in the right place, although I'm not sure about his mouth. And then I realised that actually there isn't a mouth, it is just a moustache. It's covering the mouth, so we don't have to worry about the mouth. I then went back in and put the wording back into the place that I'd cleaned off, and I let that dry. Now we're going to go on to the ribbon, which I decided to do in purple. I am a purple girl, and I do think that the purple would highlight the present really nicely. So I just go in with the purple and colour all the ribbon pieces, the bow and the ribbon that is wrapped around the present, going over the top of the writing. It should still be there when it's turned out, because you only ever see the first colour that hits the mould. Any subsequent colours may change the first colour slightly, but you'll still see that first colour. Again, I have a bit of a clean up, and then I'm ready to do the next part. I just want to wish everybody a wonderful Christmas. No matter where in the world you are, it may be summer, it may be winter. but hopefully you'll have some relaxing time and maybe some friends and family time too. This is my last video of 2025 as I'm taking a week off for Christmas. So my videos will be back on the first week in January. My website will still be open, however, and if you're missing that Christmas gift that you just can't think of, I do sell gift vouchers. They're quick, simple, digital and very easy to do. You may be able to give a friend or colleague or a family member the gift of creativity this Christmas. So I still have the two opal pigments, which are like ghost pigments. The ice, which is a blue shade, and the violet, which is a pinker shade. With the blue, I'm going to put it in the bobble of the hat. I do want these two colours to be quite prominent, so I figured the bobble would go really well with the colour of his hat and his shawl that he's wearing. And with the violet, I'm going to put it into his mittens. Again, I think that would make a rather nice contrast to the dark colour that's going to be his shawl and hat. I also figured that the present needed to be a light colour as well. So I decided to use the ice, which is the blue version, on the present as well. Now with any ghost pigment, it's going to make a difference whether you've got a light colour or a dark colour behind it. If it's got a white background, you're going to see a shimmer of colour. If it's got a black background, you're going to see a vibrant colour. So that is going to make a big difference. I do make sure that I go up all the sides, all the little upturns of the mould, because that's quite important when you turn it out. If your colour isn't up the side, you're going to see it when it turns out. Now we have one colour left, and that is my favourite, Hypnotic Blue. I know this is a dark, vibrant blue, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one comes out because I really am quite a blue-purple person. So the rest of the entire mould is going to be in this blue. Hopefully it will make all the other pieces stand out and shine. A dark surrounding area with the cape, the shawl, should make this piece pop. Theoretically. Once I blow off the excess, I'm quite happy with how this is looking so far. Now with this pour, I'm going to use white polyurethane resin. Because red, white and light colours are going to need white behind them. So I'm going to do a white, completely white polyurethane background with Let's Resin polyurethane. As I've never made this mould before, I have no idea how much resin I needed. So I guesstimated, because I didn't measure beforehand, then it's going to be roughly 4 ounces. Now I thought 4 ounces would actually be a little bit too much, which is fine. I don't mind a little bit too much. I'm showing you the stirring of this polyurethane resin because you only get 30 seconds to stir, and it goes from a really milky consistency to a clearish consistency. It still doesn't look white. It looks yellow. It doesn't look very appealing, but it does turn white. And even though you really don't get that long to stir it, it definitely is noticeable when you don't stir it correctly. You need it to change that colour from murky to see-through. I squirted it with isopropyl alcohol to help get rid of any bubbles from the back, though you're not going to see any bubbles inside because it's an opaque resin. And I thought I'd give you a time lapse because it's always fun to watch. This resin does get hot when it's curing, and you can see the steam rising from that piece, so please don't touch it while it's curing. Now I wanted to do exactly the same again, but with black behind it, so I coloured this mould exactly the same as far as I was aware. And this time I'm going to use black polyurethane. This was bought from MB Fiberglass, a company in the UK. They don't ship abroad, sadly. Now this time I made 5 ounces. That's 2.5 part A, 2.5 part B. Because I was a little short on the previous one, not by much, by mil, that's it. I didn't want to show you the entire colouring again because I was doing the same as I did the last time. But I am very curious on how these colours react to black as well as white. I know I haven't shown you the first one yet, but I wanted to put them side by side so you could see the difference too. And this time, with 5 ounces, I filled the mould up completely. Just 1 ounce out. I sprayed it with isopropyl alcohol and I left it to cure. So this was the first one I made. I was excited to see how it came out. I'm really excited. Obviously, I know post-video how this one turned out, but I was really looking forward to it. The mould is spotless, no pieces left in there. That means we've got no bubbles. And I am over the moon with this. The shimmer of the pink on his hands, the blue on the parcel and the bobble is difficult to show in a video, but it is there. It's got a very slight shimmer of that colour because it has white behind it. The cream for his hair and his beard is beautiful, and that dark colour just sets the whole thing off. So moving on to the black backgrounds, same colours in the same place though I thought. Again, the mould is spotless, which means we've got no bubbles, and oh my goodness, I was so shocked at this in a good way. And the hypnotic blue is such a gorgeous dark purple blue. I couldn't believe how the cream had turned silver. It just looked beautiful. But can you see the mistake? If I get the other one over, you can see the hands on the left look cream, but they're actually pink. And I'd coloured the pink hands on the second one incorrectly because I'd used cream. But after demoulding the black one, I really wanted some silver highlights in the first one's beard and hair. So I decided to use some Deco Colour Premium Silver to give some highlights to the cream hair in silver, because I think the second one just looks so good. I do love cream, don't get me wrong, the colour is beautiful, but I figured it just needed to look a little older. So apart from the pink hands that are non-existent on the second one, they're silver instead. Oops. Apart from that, they are coloured completely the same, in the same place. You wouldn't think that was possible, would you? But I really enjoyed using these Dianka colours. Thank you so much, Diana, for giving me the opportunity to try these colours, and a link for her website will be in the description box below the video, together with a discount code for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope you've got something out of it. Thank you so much for all the support you've given me in 2025. I will be back in 2026, so come back and see me next year, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a happy new year, a great Christmas. Bye for now.